throughout this whole thing, for me personally, I've been training for the marathon coming up in October 1st. You have personally been training for your, I want to keep saying physique competition, but that's not what it is. It's not a, you're doing wellness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the plan, anyways.
So okay. So this is a legit question because I've been following a competition, a show online, and wellness is like a new division, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
physique is relatively new in the world of shows, competitions and stuff. I mean, I'd say within the last, what is this? Uh, I mean, it's a little over a decade old. I think the actual physique competition, because before that it was just pretty much bodybuilding, and that was it. In both men
Right.
and women's, just bodybuilding, and then later on, as the generations kind of formed it, it became physique and bodybuilding, and then they started introducing like classic physique and all these other things. Bikini was a that's another line that I kind of forgot that was with bodybuilding, but now there's wellness. So what you can you define what wellness is for us, since that's what you're competing in?
Yeah, so wellness is a lot like lower body focus. So they've got like the big legs, big
Oh, okay.
glutes. They still have like the toned arms and stuff like that, but it's not like as pronounced. It's not as like built up, I guess you would say. Bikini is probably like the least like toned or muscular. Like they're kind of like the naturally petite people. Um, and then like wellness is like a step above that, where like they're still petite, but like, big legs. And then they have figure, which is what my coach really wants me to do just because of like my lats. And they have a huge focus on, their upper body. So like they have like the lat spread, like a very broad like shoulders, stuff like that, which I just naturally have. So that's why she wants me to do figure so bad. And then just recently they're starting to build like more focus on like quads as well with figure. So it's kind of like that hourglass shape kind of thing. And they've also got like physique, fitness, physique, and I think they have bodybuilding now for women as well. And
They
those,
bring it back?
yeah, those are like the real buff women.
Yeah, because I know they discontinued that for a while, because there was a huge thing. I mean, so for people that don't know, there's a documentary series called Generation Iron, and they actually came out saying that, I mean, there was a year that it was building up, building up, building up for women's bodybuilding. The shows in the beginning they had a lot of attention, and then as several years passed by, the attention started to come off of it, and just society kind of what is it? I don't know, just turned away from women's bodybuilding, and so like split decision. They were like, we're just gonna stop it completely. But they didn't even give any kind of forewarning to these women that were committing their lives to bodybuilding, which, for one, bodybuilding in general, difficult.
Right.
Females to jump into bodybuilding, I can't even imagine, extremely difficult, because there's so much more variables that you have to consider for females with hormones and having to eat and just everything. It's just completely different blueprint for females than it is for males whenever you're considered bodybuilding. So if I feel like I remember them saying something they were going to bring it back, but I'm not sure. But I know it was discontinued for a little bit.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was discontinued, so that was like new information for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, so excited. So last little thing, when is your show coming up? I turned this into an interview about you. I have no idea. When's your show
well,
coming
it's
up?
been so long since we've like caught up. So I don't know if you ever met Peter, but he's another one of our like Iron House members. He wants to compete next year as well, and I don't think he's using a coach. I think he's kind of like doing his own thing, because he's got like that knowledge himself, whereas
Awesome.
I don't coach. Um, so they usually NPC usually has like the same shows every year, as far as I'm concerned. And this past year, we went to Chattanooga, Battle of the River for Rob, and then he also did the Knoxville, or no, Chattanooga was oh shoot, I don't remember what the names were, but there was Chattanooga and Knoxville.
Hmm.
I think Battle of the River, and Chattanooga was something else. But anyways, they have like several shows throughout the summer, and the one that Peter wants to do is in Chattanooga. So we were trying to do like the same show together so that we can prep together. So I'm thinking of doing the Chattanooga one. And this past year, it fell on, I think it was the first weekend of June. So I'm assuming they haven't released a schedule yet for 2024, but I'm assuming it's going to be around the same time. So hopefully it'll be sometime in June of next year. I haven't started bulking yet or anything like that because I've been just, because of traveling and everything, she wants to like kind of wait until I settle in to back into my routine again before we start moving forward with those goals. So right now I'm just like maintaining and doing the best I can with the traveling. But I think she's going to be changing my workout plan like after I get back from Greece. So hopefully after that we can start like zoning in and like bulking and so I'm super excited for the building phase of it.
Right, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, sure. Just because you get to enjoy your food a little bit more.
Yeah. The building phase is like the most important. That's where you build the foundation for when you prep, time to build and eat and like strength train and like progress in your strength, then it's not going to show when you prep. You're going to dwindle down to like nothing instead of dwindle down and show off your muscles.
Yes, yeah, and it's difficult to be able to explain to people that their whole goal is to lose weight, because a lot of it is really understanding nutrition, really fine-tuning, dialing in the nutrition aspect, and a lot of people are like, I'm doing everything I can, I'm working out as hard as I possibly can, and that's what I hear people say is like, I'm putting all this effort into it, I'm doing everything I can, I'm working out a lot more, I'm doing all this cardio, and I'm like, yeah, but how's your food? And they're like, oh, well, I mean, the workout makes up for that. I'm like, no, it doesn't. If you're not eating the right stuff, you're not going to be able to, and also, the bulking is, once you kind of understand the nutrition aspect and you understand like, okay, the muscle underneath, the fat and everything, after it comes off, then that's where you see the hard work pay off. The bulking phase is just as hard, if not harder, like you said, to build up. And I think that a lot of people have a misconception of like, oh, well, building the muscle is the easy part. No, it's really difficult, especially whenever you're trying to maximize muscle growth and then minimize muscle loss whenever you're going into that cutting phase.
Right.
Very difficult. Very difficult. But this is a perfect lead-in. One thing I want to say about this is I was confused that you were not in the bulking phase because of that huge amount of ice cream on your story, Jade. I saw it and I was like, oh, Jade, can't believe you.
All by myself. I had help.
Yeah, no, it looked amazing. I'm wanting to do something like that too, but I'm still trying to cut a little bit more before October 1st, so we've been good.
How's that been going?
Good. I've been cutting a little too hard. I haven't seen a huge amount of like strength loss, and that's kind of how I'm evaluating like muscle loss, is if my strength goes down. I'm not eating as many carbs as I used to, and so I mean obviously like I'm gonna feel a little foggy, fatigued, stuff like that. I mean I'm expecting that kind of stuff to happen. The strength, it's not, obviously it's not something I'm focusing on, but I've noticed like it's come down a little bit, but not a huge amount to where I feel like I'm losing a good amount of muscle. But I don't know, right now we're sticking to every other week if we're going to have something sweet, or every other week to have like a little bit extra carbs just to be able to do like a refeed. I've noticed, let me see, so far I've lost about 16 pounds and the goal was 15, but now I think because I'm at this point and I have several more weeks to go before October 1st, I'm feeling really good still, and I'm enjoying the whole leaning out aspect. I want to keep going. Probably another 10 pounds.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so that would put me at 180. So, and I haven't been in the 180. Right now I'm at 189, fluctuating a little bit, but I haven't been in the 180s in years. So I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good. And if I lose some muscle, oh well, whatever, I'm not competing.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. I've always been so envious of people that can like do that stuff on their own, like you've done all of this on your own, and I just think that's incredible.
There's definitely been decades of screwing up, so well, I'll cut that out. There's definitely been decades of of messing up. There's definitely been a learning phase for sure, and Sierra's helped me out a lot, which is something that you said that you are interested in competing with Peter, so you'll have each other to be able to bounce back and forth on. That is a fantastic lead in to the challenge, because this whole challenge, everybody needs a support system. Some people can, have that crazy drive where they're psychotic enough to be able to do it by themselves and just keep encouraging themselves, but it's so good to be able to have a support system. So for me, it's always been Sierra. For you, and if you're able to jump in with Peter, or he's able to jump in with you, or vice versa, however it goes, and you're able to help push each other, because June, I mean, that's a little bit away, and so it's nice to be able to have external motivation besides you just telling yourself mentally, trying to always be like, okay, I got to stay on top of this, I got to stay on top of this, because it can get overwhelming.
See, and it's all about that community, which is exactly what you're trying to build with these challenges.
Right.
If you don't, then like more often than not, you're gonna fall off. Right? It's in our human nature. So community is everything. Support, family, friends, like anything, everything. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for even saying that. And that's even why I keep pushing this, because there is definitely a part of me that I'm like, is it growing? Is it not growing? Maybe not. But from the people that have pushed past what they originally have done, from the information that, even the little bit of information that we've given people, the little bit of encouragement, even when people don't respond or interact with the community, they're still benefiting from it, and they'll come back at the very end later and be like, hey, I just want to thank you for doing this post. And I'll be like, which post are you talking about? And it could have been the one like I put minimum amount of effort into, that they were like, that was the most impactful in my life. And I'm like, okay, well, because what impacts one person is going to impact someone else differently. So, and that's why I keep doing this, because I'm like, well, obviously it's working, obviously it's helping other people to be able to meet their goals, so let's keep doing that. So we are at 16 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and one little final thing I'd like to do to be able to put this challenge to rest and be able to move on to another challenge later on. We'll make announcements about it and everything, if Jade is still willing to help.
Absolutely.
Put her on the spot. Thank you. We're going to try to restructure some things, build up some things. That way we can introduce more content, that we can be more interactive. Hopefully the community will also be more interactive with us. Just kind of see what works from the past, and moving forward, what's going to really help encouraging people. So, last thing that we're going to leave off on is the overall winner, the overall show-off. I don't know how that sounds. Is that negative? That's not negative? Hopefully not.
We all got something.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the point, that you are able to show off your natural talents to be able to encourage others. So, we want to announce that this person that put in 6 weeks of hard work, they lost overall currently today 30 pounds, which is pretty good.
Incredible.
That is incredible. Each week they did, they were doing 5+ miles every day, and consistent with workouts, completely changed their routine of eating, started paying attention to, at first, their calories, then started to understand their macros, which going from calories to macros is, I would say, a big win, a big accomplishment, because even if you don't stick to it, it's being able to understand the nutrition side, and it's completely different. So from the workouts to nutrition to their entire lifestyle aspect, they completely transformed, which is one big thing that we really like to see from the challenge, is someone being able to transform their life. After talking with this individual, they said they have no desire to be going back to their old lifestyle, that they see the benefits that this actually gives them in their life. It makes them feel better, they have more energy, and they just overall feel so much more alive. And so we want to announce that Ronald Carmack, or Ari as the submission form is, you are the overall show-off. So thank you so much for participating. I want to thank all the participants. I want you to go off, enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend. Thank you again so much for being part of this community. Go out there and show off. Thanks.
Congratulations, Ronald.
There you go. Thanks, Jade.